All right, everybody, welcome back. Once again, you're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web. I'm your host, Jeremiah Fox. Here with me today, Michigan real estate and social media guru, Damon Johnson. Damon, you with me?
Yes, I am here.
Awesome. Okay, so the hot topic, rent and mortgage. What are people supposed to do, man? Because some people I'm crazy. Like I said, all my places are open still. Some are doing okay, some are not, but we're getting by. I managed to pay rent everywhere this month.
Awesome.
Yeah. But so I don't know what it's like where you're at, but here in New York, they put a 90-day moratorium on evictions for commercial and residential, which just means if you don't pay right now, nobody can sue you or evict you. But in 90 days, and it's not even 90 days now, it's probably more like 50, they can come after you, and it's a hot mess. And like immediately, 50,000 people were unemployed, and the number is growing and growing and growing. And here, I think it's something staggering, like 75% of New Yorkers rent. It's high. Yeah, it's big time. So, and I know I've heard in the state Senate, there's, some legislature on the table about rent freezes, or, they're being kind of unclear, but they certainly didn't pass it through by like April 5th when everybody had to pay. They're just like, yeah, we're working on that. So, and I get it. I understand, I think what was done though, and this may be nationally, you'll have to chime in, or it could have just been statewide, but there was some kind of freeze on mortgages, but just for homeowners. It doesn't apply if you own a building. You're shaking your head no. Go ahead. You want to give us some information on that?
Yeah, for I belong to a few groups. I'm a NAR, well, for the National Realtors too. So everything goes by the state as far as commercials, commercial buildings, rental units, and for homes. For Michigan, it first came out that you can't get evicted over the 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
People took that to mean that, oh, I'm not paying anything for these 90 days. And that came out right before everybody started getting laid off or losing their jobs or things shutting down. Because here, Michigan is weird. We have Ford, Chrysler, and GM, which is headquartered here. Mm-hmm. So they employ a lot of people, a lot of businesses spin off of that. Where when they shut down, they still get a check. It just isn't the full check or any overtime or anything like that. So what happened, we have a lot of mortgage companies that are headquartered. Mortgages are huge here. So, because Quicken is here, United is here, so a lot of Bank of America's headquarters is here. Chase is here. There's a lot. Mortgages and banks are huge here. So I told my clients, past, present, future, pay your mortgage, because even if the bank gives you a forbearance or whatever they want to call it and say that you don't have to pay right now, come the day that expires, they're going to want those 3 months of payment that day. There is no, my job at ABC suppliers called me back and I get a check in 2 weeks. Can you wait? No. It's going to devastate your credits. Mm-hmm. I tell people, call your lender. I did a show with my broker, and they were, we're tossing things around. Because I used to write mortgages. Call your lender and say, hey, I went from making $2,000 a week to $500 a week. And what's also going on here, I don't know about New York, the unemployment checks haven't come yet. So people were applying and they don't know if are they getting it or not. The $1,200 thing, I don't think anybody's gotten here.
Right.
I don't know about there, but the $1,200 people haven't gotten. Yeah. The unemployment people haven't gotten. The food stamp relief people haven't gotten. It's like whatever you have on you right now is what you have.
That's it. Yeah.
So
It's kind of like running a business.
It's like running the business. So that's why I wasn't in so much of a shock.
Yeah,
like,
same
no,
here.
but I was like, don't buy anything either.
Yeah, right. That's Gary V coming through.
Right? Because for rent, I think they'll have a little bit more flexibility because of the courts actually being shut down, and you can't get evicted. But in the same vein, call your landlord and say, hey,
this is what's happening.
I have X amount of dollars I can give you. And I would give it to them I told them with a note, due to coronavirus, I can no longer pay the full amount. Upon me returning to work, I will pay X amount of dollars. Because when you sit at home with your head in the sand, pretending that the news, you can't say, oh, the news told me I don't have to pay for 90 days. Because my fear is that when this is over, there's nothing written down that says you don't owe this money.
Right.
You can't just say, oh, I had a forbearance, or, oh, I chose this, and you haven't contacted your creditors, you haven't contacted the banks, you haven't contacted who holds your mortgage, who holds your lease. I did that question on my Instagram. I was like, have you contacted your landlord or your mortgage company? I got like 3 responses.
We were like, who?
Because
who's that?
Because really, what is it? This is April. Because people were claiming March, and I was like, oh no, they for sure are gonna make you pay March.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was like, April, you may get a little leeway as far as a late payment or putting it on the end of your mortgage.
Right.
But you have to contact them. I don't care if you get a busy signal, email them. Email them, at them on Twitter, get a hold of them, because they know what's going on too. They aren't, they know that people can't pay right now.
Right. And I've had some conversations even just with like, the MX with my business card, for, it was just like a panic, like what's going to happen? We didn't know if we were going to continue to operate. We didn't know what sales were going to look like. Now we're wrapping up our 4th week of just delivery only. And so now we have a gauge. And they, just calling them and talking to them, and they Amex, they were like, cool, they were like, no late fees, no penalties, stuff like that. I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow.
Yeah, because they know now. See how rumors start about what not to pay and what to pay. We have our electricity is called DTE, and our gas, well, heat your water or whatever, is consumers. And there was this big rumor that, oh, they're not going to cut anybody off for the 90 days. I'm a person.
Where'd that start? A New Yorker started that rumor.
I'm a person, and I was telling my clients, I was like, hey, set up a payment plan with them. I have not seen any of that in person, where they are not shutting you off. Or if the rumor comes and it's true, they're going to want their money in those 90 days.
It's right. And the point is nobody's getting off the hook from this cash. If you have a mortgage and you don't have to pay right now, they're going to get you on the back end. Somehow it's going to creep up, and you need to plan for that. And the same with rent. Nobody's going to evict you right now.
Right.
Come the end of your lease, if you haven't come up with that cash, then you could run into trouble, especially if the courts are back open and this moratorium on evictions is over. You could find yourself liable. And I mean, here, it's a lot of money. It's like thousands of dollars a month. And if you go 3 months without paying, all of a sudden you could have 10, 15, 20 grand hanging over your head, and you're just getting back to work,
Right, because I don't think companies are going to be doing bonuses this year and raises, and I just don't want people to be like, oh, I owe so much on my mortgage, I'm going to lose my house.
Right.
Or I'm going to lose my apartment, I'm going to lose my car. I don't want people to just think that the money doesn't have to go somewhere. And I also don't want people, I knew there was going to be a wrinkle with that $1,200. I just was like,
you think?
Because I think when they were saying you had to make under a certain amount of money, I said, well, that takes out a lot of people anyway, because who's getting that?
Right.
And then I think people were banking on getting it and spending money, ordering things online. I was like, that money is not a guarantee. And when I read the statute, it was worded as such that you have to declare that as income next year.
Right.
So
So you get taxed on it.
You're gonna get taxed on that.
Yeah.
I was like,
yep.
I didn't qualify, and I'm glad I didn't.
Right. I didn't even try.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want any money that I'm getting taxed double on.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like you're getting taxed when you get it, and then they're taxing you again next for what is this, for 2020 taxes.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I was like, this is like a setup, kind of. It's not a relief. It's like a
yeah. I feel the same way, and you know they keep putting things up for businesses that have experienced massive loss and like payroll retention and stuff like that. And I'm looking at it, but I'm a little weary. Like I kind of feel like if I can do this on my own, I'd rather do it on my own and not.
Yeah, like I've looked at some grants and things, and I've applied for a couple of things, but I'm with you. I'm leery. Some people that I know are just applying for everything.
Right, exactly.
and I want to tell them, do you know how hard it is to pay back even a loan for $1,000?
Right. Oh, I'm not taking any loans. I am not interested in any loans.
I was like, these loans and these grants and this, everything sounds good. When I went to college, they were like, hey, sign up for this, sign up for that. And we thought it was money. Here you come to student loan bills. I was like, where did that come from?
Yep.
So I'm always leery of the free money, kind of. I'm even leery of grants sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
same here. Same here.
Am I signing my business away? Who are these people? It was a grant until you got to the last two lines of that document, and then it said, surprise, psych, you owe us all this money. So I'm telling everybody, pay what you can pay, get something in writing, get something that you've communicated out to your mortgage company and to your landlord and to your credit cards, your insurance companies, whoever you were paying every month, get something out to them that says, hey, I only have money for food. This is all I have.
Yep.
So at least you have something in writing.
Were you in real estate in 2007 and 8 during that crash?
No, I was a school teacher at the time.
I knew you were a school teacher. I didn't know when you transitioned into real estate.
But what's so funny, the crash kind of was the reason I got involved in real estate. My first home, I was part of the sign here committee.
Yeah.
Where you just sign, and I didn't really know what my credit score was. I had and I'm not blaming anybody. Well, you know how things went. You applied for something, you got it, and you kept
They
going.
were giving houses away then, man.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but that's what got them into the trouble.
I got the home, and I thought I could afford it. I could not. And I did a short sale, and they treated me like dirt. To say, I can't say they treated me like.
You can curse on the show. You can say bad words. It's okay.
So going through that process, it was like, and at the same time, I had just got the house. I got the house, and then like that summer when it all started here, short sale on house, new governor laid all the teachers off who had their masters.
Yeah.
So I had to move back in with my mom, become a substitute teacher at that point. And I was like, this is crazy. So all the money that I used to get the house was gone.
Yeah. And
so I was like, I'm going to become a real estate agent when this is over, and I'm not going to do what was done to me. It was, for me, that crash is way worse than this one.
So far, this is new. We're still in the honeymoon phase right now.
But you know what? I think I'm better. I know better now.
Right.
I shouldn't say I had all my eggs in one basket. I was like, I have this master's. I have my teacher certificate. I can do anything. They wouldn't hire me because they had to pay. They said they couldn't afford me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'll take a pay cut. And they were like, no, by law, we have to, pay you by your degree.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what to do because I was raised that you go to college, you go work for somebody, and then you just work there until you retire and die.
Right. Yeah.
So I wasn't, raised to have my own business. I tell people, this is all still new for me. Having a business and getting clients and doing this type of, even this stuff, this is all new for me because I wasn't raised like that. I mean, they raised me the best they could. I mean, they raised me how they were raised. You go to college, you be a good boy, you go work for someone, and you work as hard. You work as hard as you can there to get promoted, and that's that. Whereas now I know that none of this is guaranteed.
Right.
You have better know how to do 5 or 6 different things. You have better know how to sell, be part of the sales team, do this, do that, be a consultant. So now, that's why I say for me, I know I can survive anything now because I know I have to do a lot of stuff. If I want to host the show, here we go. If you want to get picked up by a network, I just didn't know that there was so much possibility out there. I thought you just worked and had fun on the weekend and traveled and that was that. If you would have told me I would not have been a principal or even almost retired by now from that, I'd be like, oh no. So yeah, when that bubble burst and this one, to me, they feel similar but different. This one has a more of a, this one is different because you can't go out and work. You can't make, not that you can't, it's different to make the extra money.